going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video we're taking a look at the new and improved PSY team over in PvP with the release of the new Super Sugo Luffy Zoro Sanji and the anniversary exclusive Nami. So I've decided to combine both of their PvP showcases into one, purely because, like, if you're running one and you have the other, like, it makes sense to run them both on the same team. So I have struggled a little bit in the last probably 6 to 12 months. I actually cannot remember the last time PSY was actually, like, super good. Maybe, like, Gear 5's release, maybe S-Bear you could probably push to. But PSY has been really, really struggling if you compare it to other teams in the meta. But with the release of this new Super Sugo and anniversary exclusive, PSY can do some pretty nuts-o things. And another addition they got was the rare recruit Frankie from the batch. Ironically, a very, very good PvP unit, and one that is going to be a staple on most PSY PvP teams if you are running Nami, especially, because you do need to bring 4 Straw Hats to get the full effectiveness out of Nami. But let's start off with Luffy. This is one of the comps that I've been using in PSY. Garp just feels very consistent. His damage output is amazing, and then obviously if he dies, he throws back that special. I'm one off Garp being 150 as well, so like when Garp hits 150, like he's going to be doing some disgusting damage, which you guys can check out over in the PvP fight against Akainu and see how powerful he is over there. But this team is the most consistent. Luffy Zoro Sanji bring a lot to the table. They bring, I believe, attack and HP level 8. They have a revive of 2 times, so when they die, they just come back with 50% HP twice. And on top of that, they give CD reduction to Straw Hat characters. They get a level 3 cooldown reduction, not only to themselves, but any other Straw Hat that you want to bring on the team. And obviously, if you are bringing Nami, then you are going to get the cooldown reduction to Nami as well. Their special is very strong, 5,000 fixed damage, gives an attack buff, gives a speed buff, I want to say, or maybe it's defensive buff. Can't really remember. And then does more damage that bypasses defense. So they are going to be one of your attacking juggernauts on the PSY team. PSY does lack damage. Even with them, they need a little bit of help. That's why Garp is so good in the front lines here, because he can provide a lot of damage too. Plus, Garp needs a Luffy on the team or a Kobe, so the Luffy Zoro Sanji just satisfies that requirement as well. So very, very nice stuff. So this is the slasher fight. Still a formidable fight, obviously, with super specials of Roger, Rayleigh, Kaban. The Sulongs can be very, very troublesome as well. So it's very, very nice to see us get the win over here. But Luffy Zoro Sanji, like I said, they're going to be a staple on PSY teams moving forward. You can do some fun stuff with slashes as well, because obviously they are a free spirit slasher unit. And they just synergize really well with characters like Nami and characters like the new Frankie. So PSY can pretty much take down a lot of stuff now, and we're gonna take on some of the harder challenge fights. I would dive into regular PvP, but it's so frustrating just trying to find, like, good teams, and then if you lose, it's kind of like, it makes the showcase a little bit how you're going. So these teams, like, while they're not, like, the be-all end-all, like, it's still a really good place to show off how powerful these characters are. So something else that Luffy Zoro Sanji do is they give 30% cooldown to other Straw Hat characters when they use their special. The attack and defensive buff is really, really nice. And obviously the damage that goes through defense is the big draw to the character. I believe it's like 2.3 times their attack. So the more dupes you have, the more, like, limit break abilities you have maxed out. And obviously, Limit Break expansion is going to improve Luffy Zoro Sanji drastically when it comes to their damage output. But the cooldown reduction is really, really nice too, because most of the time with this particular team, Law is giving a lot of cooldown, and then you get the cooldown from Luffy Zoro Sanji, so Nami can go very, very quickly. The downside to Luffy Zoro and Sanji is they're on a 35-second cooldown. For what they do, it's a lot. But if you have that extra 6 cooldown with Law and then the 3 they give themselves, Nami will usually go first, and then you can use the Luffy Zoro Sanji special to buff up Nami once again and get her closer to that super special, which is so ridiculously powerful. So the damage output they have is great. Garp obviously providing a lot of damage there is awesome, and then Frankie just being that sort of defensive juggernaut in the middle just kind of holds it down. Plus he gives you that ability to avoid fixed damage, which is really reliable. It tends to pop off, like, more times than not. And if you get to this particular point where Nami uses her super special, she'll usually use her special once and then have her super special ready to go, especially if you have her maxed out. Like, this is a level 150 Nami that you guys are seeing on screen right now too, so that's also something to note. The team, like, functions, like, so ridiculously well, and basically puts characters into a corner and stops them from doing literally anything and everything. Plus, like I said, if they start doing damage to you and you've already thrown out a bunch of specials, and Garp does his auto proc special on death, most of the time you're going to be wiping out the entire team. But the synergy Luffy Zoro Sanji has with Nami is what makes the PSY team so special. Nami has an ability where she basically just nerfs the opposition. She gives PSY characters a HP buff, but then she also does a speed down buff to the enemies. And then if you have 4 or more Straw Hat characters on the team, she does a level 7 HP down and level 3 CD reduction. So she's providing a lot of nerfs to the enemy and basically reducing their HP value so drastically. She's slowing them down not only with their cooldown but their speed. And then with her special, she does fixed damage for 4,000 and then will reduce the cooldown up to 3 times of, well, not up to, definitely 3 times on 2 characters by 20%. Plus she lowers their attack by level 4. So she's dropping the speed, dropping the cooldown, dropping the HP, and then also dropping the attack, which is ridiculously strong, allows you to survive and allow your Luffy Zoro Sanji to pop off once, keep Nami alive so that way she can use her super special, and then like I said, if the characters do catch up and they start doing a lot of damage and Garp has his UT special once, dies, and then auto procs, most of the time you are going to be wiping out the entire team. Nami also has a really ridiculous super special. At level limit break 5, it is 6,000 fixed damage and will reduce the cooldown by 30% now and give a level 6 attack down to 6 separate enemies, which is ridiculously strong. When she goes with that super special, basically just stops enemies from doing anything and everything. So as you can see there, we managed to take out Garp and wipe in an ace very swiftly. This particular fight is very finicky because those 2 characters are at level 150. So the damage output that they throw at you on death is ridiculous. So having a character like Garp on your team just throw back damage when he dies is also pretty damn ridiculous as well. Law, I found, just sort of got a massive resurgence with this team as well. Just getting that cooldown reduction is so vital for Nami. And also having the ability to remove half stats, because this side team, it's a little bit vulnerable to stuff like special bind, action bind, and half stats. So Law being able to remove some of that is very, very valuable. But like I said, once Nami does this, there's not a lot of teams that can kind of stand in front of her towards the back end of the fight. Because normally the super special will go off towards that back 40 seconds, 50 second mark, depending on how quickly she's used her special early and how quickly she's taken specials as well. You got to be careful with characters that have super specials though, because you want them to take specials, but you also don't want them to die. And I believe a level 99 Nami is nowhere going to be near as strong as level 150, obviously. In saying that though, there are specials that can kind of just do wonky stuff that aren't really doing a lot of damage. So I feel like you're going to see it more often than not because it is a 2-charge super special. The 3-charge super specials can be a little bit challenging to see all the time. Shout out to Kaido and King. But Nami's, I feel like you are going to see a lot of play. But something else to note about Nami and Luffy Zoro Sanji is they are actually slasher characters. Nami's being a striker slasher and the Luffy Zoro Sanji being free spirit slasher means you can actually do some fun stuff with Roger and Newgate. Now, a lot of people probably don't have a maxed out Garp or might not even have Garp at all, but Roger and Newgate have been around since New Year's of like 2022, and they actually buff slashers and side characters. So you can throw them onto the team as your big damage dealer. It's basically what I did here. Unfortunately, we didn't get any like value out of them, as you can see there. Garp there probably would have been a little bit nicer, but I did want to showcase this as well because Frankie obviously isn't slasher, but Law is as well. And that way you're actually getting a nice synergistic buff for the entire team. And Whitebeard and Roger have the ability to remove like attack down and all those like nerfs that you can get as well. So you can do some fun stuff with basically just resetting your team and getting yourself back into a really nice fold with Roger Newgate whilst doing great HP cuts and great damage through defense. The one drawback to the team obviously is the fact that you need to bring 4 Straw Hat characters on the team to make it function. But in saying that, finding 4 Straw Hats isn't too challenging with the release of the new rare recruit Frankie, and then obviously Nami and then Luffy Zoro Sanji being a Straw Hat themselves. Other characters that you guys can bring are the Legend Robin is very, very good. You could definitely run her. We have the new rare recruit Chopper, he's another option. You could just throw on like PvP Brook or something like that on the bench. Another downside to Luffy Zoro Sanji is that Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji take up the names Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, which means you can't use stuff like PvP Zoro on the bench. You can't use stuff like Memories of Straw Hat Sanji. You can't even use like Gear 5 Luffys and stuff like that either. So I feel like if the name was just Luffy, the side team would work a little bit nicer because you have the option to run that PvP Zoro on the bench who also buffs slashes and side characters. So that's pretty much the drawback to the team right now. But as we get more side Straw Hats in the future, it's just going to bolster this team even more and even more. But overall, I've been really enjoying them in PvP. They're both very, very strong. Let me know what you guys think of the characters in the comment section below. Do you think they could be better? Do you think they need to be worse? Do you have any ideas that could make the team a little bit better, a little bit more fluent? And if you do, let me know in the comment section below. But while you're down there, bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's